Okay, let's start.
Ah, man, yes, things are already rolling. Hi,
Mm-mm.
everybody. Welcome to the other side. This is Martin, my husband. He's here to chat.
Mm-hmm.
So, like how we did in the previous video.
Yeah.
Do you know what's the before? I already told you.
Don't worry about that. Just roll it as like this is the first one. That's the whole point of takes.
Answer Digwe. Yo. But anyway, this is the before I do segment of my channel
Yes.
where I help other girls
Mm.
prepare for marriage
Okay.
because I didn't.
But your gender doesn't listen. Like women, I don't understand. Like women, you guys don't listen like to each other or to advise. What?
Some some people listen.
Hey, yeah, that handful will
Some don't,
listen.
some do.
Yeah, most don't. Like advice. Like I don't know why
For
women
the
don't like
for those
advice.
that listen, this is worth doing.
Mm. Like amen.
Okay, so just what I want to talk about today is what makes a marriage valid.
Mm. All right. What makes a marriage valid? It's one. The bride's family have to give the blessing for her to get married. Once they give that blessing, then basically she can get married, go through the processes, whatever culture it is. She goes through the processes with the grooms and the groom's family, and then that validates. So basically, both parties, in terms of both families, have to be aware and they have to give their blessings. But mostly, the most important one is the bride's family giving their blessing for her to get married.
Mm.
Once that is done, then the marriage is validated, both under heavens and on earth.
So the thing that makes a marriage valid is the father's blessing.
Yes, yes. Traditionally, the father will then give the blessing for his daughter to get married. That is why even ceremonial, he's the one that walks it down the aisle, and gives a hand to the husband. That is his way of saying that I'm aware and I'm giving my blessing that my daughter will be married to you. You are now responsible over her life as I was. Since that she was born, now I'm giving you that responsibility now.
Mm. So in African culture, because we don't, the walking down the aisle thing, the father walking you down the aisle is sort of like a Western tradition, right?
Yeah,
But it symbolizes the father.
symbolizes basically.
So now in African culture, when your father accepts the lobola or accepts the letter,
Exactly.
that what if he accepts the letter and then by the time it's lobola time, it's like I'm safun.
You get those cases whereby some fathers that just don't want to let go of their daughter, but sometimes it is a valid reason why he doesn't want. And if look, here's the thing: if her father says no, it's a no. There's no look. Whether you wrote a letter and you wrote it, whether you did whatever you want to do, if the father says it's a no, try and find a reason whereby you can convince him to say yes. If he doesn't say yes, it's over. It's a no. You can't marry. It's over.
What if the father that is saying no is a father that was not present, that didn't raise you, or maybe let's say he was present but he wasn't present, absent present fathers kind of thing. What if it's your father, you don't have a relationship with him,
Okay, yeah, then you should not even be there.
so they can't say no,
No,
so your
it is
marriage
not.
will still be valid in
No.
that situation if it's not your father, if you and your father, the relationship is not there, or with good reason,
Okay.
he's not allowed to give you away. He doesn't have that right because he didn't raise you, he was not in your life. If somebody else gives you away, it will still be valid.
It'll also be valid. The main case is this, no? Ideally, it's supposed to be your biological father, because ideally your biological father is supposed to be there, present in your life. He's supposed to be there, staying with your mother. You guys are supposed to be together, whether it's a polygamy marriage or not. But he has to be present in your life. If your father was not present, in your life, then he has no business to be there negotiating lobola or to be there giving you away, because you were never his to begin with. You were never his to begin with. So the person that then gives you away, it's a person that has played that role in your life, that has been taking care of you, looking after you, that has played the father figure role. Whether even if it's your mother can also give you away. She can say, "I give you my blessing to get married." If your father was a douche, what business does he have to be giving you away? Do you understand?
So if there's this thing of curses from parents. What if now Tatako uyafika and he wants to be part of your marriage, whatever, and you refuse, and he says he basically sort of like places a curse on you? There's that fear in our culture that there's that usually where it's like, no, just do what your father wants so that he doesn't kiss you or anything like that.
Those things it's also fear mongering. It's not that legit.
So
it's just fear mongering, because here's the thing: one, for that curse to even work, there's a lot of things that will be in place. You see, the problem with a curse is that a curse has its grounds to stand on. If a curse doesn't have any grounds to stand on, it will not be valid. It will not be valid. Let's say there's a father wants to curse his daughter not to marry, but the guy was never there. He has never been claimed that. He has never been claimed that. It doesn't work. So, and plus, if you're a Christian, that doesn't work. That curse doesn't work.
So here's an interesting one. Let's say, as Christians, we are the ones who usually have this issue. There's a lot of instances where your pastor will want you to marry a certain person. Let's say now you're in a situation where your pastor has given you the green light.
Okay.
But your father is like, nope, not this one.
Your pastor says, go for this one, but your father says no. Find out why your father is saying no. You understand? Remember, your father has the highest authority over your life.
Even if there's a pastor in the mix.
A pastor is just a teacher. A pastor is just a mentor. Right? He's not your father. Father is a different thing. You understand? So, if your father says no to this guy, then find out why. There may be a reason. Remember now there was a story of those two couples that met with each other, fell in love, and then realized that they're brothers and sisters. So that's what I'm saying. Find out.
That could be why your father
that could be the reason why. Your father could be like, oh, who's your mother? Or where does she come from? Or what's her surname? And then he adds 1, 2, and 2, and he's like, oh, this is my child. You see now? So to avoid such things, look,
the horror.
Look, like I'm saying, to put in context, my advice is that we're talking about a father that's present, that's responsible, that has been there in your life. You bring this guy and your father says, there's a reason why your father is saying that. There's a good reason why, and you should listen. Either find out, Daddy, why did you say no? There must be a reason. He'll tell you, oh, I said no for 1, 2, 3, 4. You understand? He's a man. A man can see the quality of a man from a mile away. So it'll be wise for you as a woman, as a girl who has a responsible father, to listen to what your father is saying. Yes, the pastor's advice is good and everything like that. It's appreciated, but it doesn't have more authority than your father's. That's what I'm saying.
What if it's the mother that is like, nope?
The mother is saying no. We find out also if it's your mother. Yeah, we'll find out. Sit down. You go there with your father. You say, Mommy said no. Can we find out, Mommy, why did you say no? What did you see that was not pleasing to you? Yeah, your mother then will tell you.
What if she doesn't? No, man.
No. I get in that kind of situation, then the father must then investigate further. But at the end of the day, it's up to your father. It's not up to your mother.
Okay. So let's say now the pastor is like, no,
Mm.
the Lord says no.
The Lord is saying
But your father is like, no, this one's a good one.
that is good. Find out from the pastor why he's saying no. That's one. The pastor wouldn't just say no for any reason. If his reason is valid, then consider it. But at the end of the day, like I said, the end decision comes from your father, not from your pastor.
Do you think the decision of who you want to marry, or the decision of, okay, you can marry this person if you want to? Because I think ideally the choice of who you marry is yours as the person that wants to get married. But what you need that stamp of approval from your father, from your family, from your elders, and all of that. But unless you want, you can, like an arranged marriage, unless you can give a go ahead to your parents to say, you know what, you can arrange for me. If I like the person, then I'll marry them. If I you know.
Yeah.
I don't think they unless I don't think without your permission your family can say, Shatalo. It's no longer. It doesn't happen a lot nowadays.
Oh, it happens. It happens.
Does it?
It happens.
I wouldn't want anyone to choose a husband for me because I'm not the one. They are not the ones who are going to be in the house with this person. They are not the ones who are going to be with this person every day. It's me. So if I chose bad, then let it be my consequence. And if I chose well, let it be my consequence too. But now, if it's a bad person that was chosen for me, now it's gonna be frustrating times two. I'm mad at the guy, and I'm mad at my family for making me mad at the guy.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at. Also, look at it this way. Remember how we were taught in marriage school that love is blind, but your neighbors are not. Yeah, it comes from there. That's why, as much as you want to say, I want it to be my choice and so forth, remember, in that state, you still need someone who's outside to say, oh, dude, you've got a blind side here. You're not saying 1, 2, 3, 4 about this person, right? And because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 about this person, you might want to reconsider your choice. I mean, I've had many stories of people, because they're in love, they will choose each other and they will disobey their close people who will cancel them and say, hey, dude, you guys are not ready for marriage. They'll get married, 1, 2, 3, 4. They get married and then they see what marriage is and then they can't handle it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, they're divorcing or separating. So, yes, choose. It's fine. At the end of the day, you are the one who's going to first choose. But always consider the advice around you about that person.
Yeah. Yeah. This one. So, if you are not a born again person and you get married, that marriage is valid.
Yeah, it's valid.
Considering the aspect of the family.
Hey, no, it's valid.
Marriage is not a Christian only thing. It's not only valid when it's Christians getting married.
No, it's not only Christian. Although it's yes, it's found in Christianity, but it's also found in other religions too. And it's valid in there according to their own customs and according to their own rules.
No, not the customs. The institution itself, the coming together of one person and another person. Does it need? Does it have to be born again people? Let's say now, if there was a thing of, if you're not born again, you can't get married. Would that be a thing? Would that ever be a thing?
No, it can't be a thing. It can't be a thing.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, other faiths have marriage too.
Yeah.
You understand? And they have their own ways of doing things, and that's okay.
No, that's not what I'm asking. So let's say that is marriage founded in, I don't want to say Christianity, the religion, but by God. Marriage is founded by God, right?
Yeah.
So does that mean that a person that has no allegiance to God, a person that is not surrendered to God, can get married and that marriage be valid?
Yes.
That was my question.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, when exactly are you married? When the guy pops a question,
Mm-hmm.
can we say, yeah, this one's married?
No.
Pays lobola. Can we say, yeah, no, you guys are married?
In terms of pay the lobola, then the ceremonies are done after.
The lobola is a ceremony.
The whole thing. Then you're married.
No, like, besides umembe, so besides everything else that comes, the lobola is a whole, it's a whole standalone.
Okay.
Big deal.
When the father or the one that is responsible or the head of the family gives his blessing and says that I accept the gift, you guys can marry. Then you're married.
So you're married.
Yeah, the moment the father or the head of the house accepts the gift and gives his blessing for your hand to be taken, you're done. It's marriage.
Then you can
Everything else after that is just a ceremonial thing. You can shake all you want. It's done. That's it. It's done. You're married.
You can move in and...
You can move in. You're done.
What about home affairs?
You can sign even after.
Can you sign before the lobola?
Yeah, you can sign before the lobola. You can sign. Okay, yes. Okay, it's a very important question. Here's the reality, no? The thing is this. In modern day, right?
Yeah.
You have to sign before the lobola if you don't want incommunity of property. You don't have a choice on that one. The moment you sign after the lobola, it doesn't matter. It's in community. You can say whatever you want to say. It's in community of property.
I didn't know that.
Hey, the moment...
Is it?
Hey, you can go do your research. That is why even our lawyer said you have to go sign the contract with the lawyers before you even go to Home Affairs. Because before you get to Home Affairs, if you don't have the contract, Home Affairs will ask you, where is the contract, the internuptial contract? And only a lawyer can do that.
So Home Affairs asks for the contract if you're doing in community with accrual.
Even without accrual.
They need a contract.
Exactly, but...
Okay, this is not about contract.
Then...
Back up.
But it's important. My point is this, man. If you go to Home Affairs without a contract, automatically you go into community. Because one, remember, this is why it's so important. To pay lobola in South Africa, it's in community.
Even if it's 10 rand.
Hey, the moment you have started the processes and you have started paying lobola, in Home Affairs they recognize it as in community.
So if you pay lobola and then go to Home Affairs, you are basically signing in community.
Hey, don't even ask.
No, what if you do the lobola and then you go to Home Affairs and tell them, no, we want out of community?
You can't.
Go back.
Because ilobola is a legitimate
in community.
In community.
Aye.
Hey.
Aye.
That's why before I'm telling you, you can even go ask the lawyers. I
will. In my head.
Hey.
As long as you specify, even if it's after the lobola.
Remember, this is why I remember it so clearly. When we went to the lawyer, she specifically told us that, listen guys, it's good, because the first question that she asked was, have you guys started the lobola processes? We said no, it's just been verbal. They have not gone to a house yet. Then she said good.
But the letter had gone.
The
parents knew. Everybody knew.
Hey, everybody knew.
It was not hush hush.
It was not hush hush. So she told us, okay, that's good. If the formal negotiations have not started yet, then it means that you guys are still within the space of deciding which contract you want to take. But had you had come to the lawyer after you had paid the lobola, by law you have already signed the contract in community. That is why it's very important that before you even go and start the lobola negotiations, you go talk to the lawyers and you decide which marriage certificate you want. You sign that one. You go to Home Affairs. You complete the signing of the contract. By the time you go to your family, then pay lobola, it's already signed and sealed.
Yo, but is that not dangerous? What if you signed and then the family it's not working out?
You have to make sure.
No, but you've signed already.
That's it. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
now you got divorced without even lobola.
It's not hey. You must make sure that lobola thing happens and it works well. There's no running away from that. That's the thing. That's how serious this thing is.
It wouldn't be divorce, though. It would be like an annulment, right?
Yeah, basically, because after you have to be married for a specific period of time before
it can be a divorce.
It can be a divorce.
Yo, I am shook at Gesan.
So most of these people that come to me and tell me that, no, we've paid ilobola, or in the process of paying ilobola, yeah, we'll see the marriage certificate later. I'm just looking at them like, oh, okay. You'll be shocked when you get there to the courts. They will ask you, when did you sign this contract before or after you did the lobola negotiations? They'll say after. They're like, dude, in community.
But they didn't ask us. They asked us when we went to Home Affairs.
They asked us.
They asked for the contract, no?
Hey, no, because we went there, then they asked us, which marriage certificate do you guys want to sign?
Yeah, so...
Yeah, most people are married in community, they don't know. that's my point. They don't know.
Guys, please check.
50, so
married people check. Unless it's voluntary. I know other people want in community and they are happy with it.
Which is fine.
Yes.
Which is fine.
Yeah, other people think they are not in community until they are. And yes. But I don't think Home Affairs is strict, Mina.
In what?
In making you in community. I think, I don't know, because then death happens and then gashuba.
Hey, let me tell you. Anything happens, the first thing that they ask you is, show us your marriage certificate, and it's written there in community. Once it's in community, then the rules that follow must be obeyed. 50-50,
sure.
Whether you like it or not.
Anyway, so you said, sorry to cut you, but so you say after lobola, it's a valid marriage.
Yeah, I mean, after lobola and the father is giving the blessing, you're done, you're married.
But you would have got to Home Affairs first.
If you're smart, yes. Yes. Go to Home Affairs first.
So does the family have to approve the Home Affairs signing? There's one.
Like I said, if you're smart. If you're smart. And okay, let me put it. All right. Let me put it. This is sometimes this is my big fight with culture sometimes, that we don't apply culture properly. We don't have, because the spirit of culture is the time that it's in, right? So if we're applying culture properly, then we have to then consider that before the lobola negotiations happens, at least if you can see what's in jail, not my in-laws to be, they're gel well together, they're good. I love this lady loves me, we are serious, we want to be together. Go and sign. Go and sign. But understand, once you sign, there's no going back. There's no going back. You have to go pay the lobola, and you have to do it quickly. That's the honest truth. And because we don't apply our culture properly, we have not amended the rules of engagement in terms of lobola. And because of that, now we are literally.
So there's all of these issues now.
Yeah, there's all of these issues because we should have just sat down as a whole Black people community and said that, okay, guys, listen, we need to amend 1, 2, 3, 4.
Funeka ibe same day okay. Ngale mini kwenza ilobola is the Home Affairs Day.
No, or better, you know what to do. Or better, I wish there could have been a situation whereby the father somehow you could just, I don't know, sit down, talk to him, and come to some sort of an agreement, or I don't know, whatever, and you go sign.
Since lobola validates a marriage, like spiritually, just do Home Affairs that same day.
You need to do that.
Look, you take your taxi. I mean, home affairs, baby. Delicates fike emini at the house for the negotiations.
Yeah.
Same day.
Yeah, you can do that.
And then you
You can do that. It's just that your in-laws must only find out never.
But anyway, that's not what we're talking about.
No,
Lobola validates marriage, right?
yes,
So
well,
what if especially for us Christians, what if there's the belief in church culture that unless the pastor officiates your wedding, you are not married, even though lobola has been paid. It's like if now we're in church, and then you paid lobola, and then I move in, taboo, because there's
no such.
But that's how it is in church culture today.
That culture is a lie. That culture is a lie. Which Bible verse will you show me that can defend that culture?
Which Bible verse says when you are lobola get married? I don't know.
Oh, look through the whole Old Testament, even Jewish beliefs. The bride's price and the father's blessing are the two things that are, you know.
Okay, don't get riled up.
I'm not wild. I'm just like.
What I'm saying is, especially for us Christian girls, because I think a lot of us fall under this thing. If the pastor is not officiated us, then we're not married. Even though the families have met each other, the families know each other, lobola has been paid. Now we have to wait for a blessing day, as though the father didn't already bless. So, is that what validates the marriage even further? You know why? Because there's this aspect of where we will be told and trusted. No, then that means that God now is also blessing the marriage. But in the marriage ceremony, God is also a witness, right? He's witnessing the marriage as well as the family and the friends, right? Because you're standing before God and your family, So what about the Christian girl now that is sort of like in that space of, hey, he paid lobola, but we're waiting for the blessing ceremony at church. We're waiting for our pastor to officiate our ceremony.
Let me clarify some things. One, there are a lot of man-made rules, especially in church, that have nothing to do with God. Yet they are defined as they are God's rules. It's not. One, the issue of the pastor blessing in marriage. It's a beautiful thing. Is it more important than the lobola ceremony? No, it's not. It's just an additional thing that you do. There's really, to say that God blesses you only when the pastor blesses you, it's a lie. The moment your father or the head of the family gives his blessing, that is also God's way of blessing you. That's how that one flows.
Because God recognizes the authority of the father.
The father. Not like your pastor. Yes, it's good and all and everything. It can be done. It should be done. But it's not more important than the father giving his blessing your way. So if you paid lobola, he gives his blessing, you are married under God's eyes. In the Bible, it simply says that the most important part is the father giving his blessing for his daughter to get married. Once that's done, it's also recognized in heaven that you guys are married. The whole church thing is just an additional thing that we just do.
I know that when we did the lobola, okay, was like, okay, when are you moving in?
We're married.
I was like,
we're married because I actually investigated this whole thing and I wanted to find out. I'm like, okay, before I make mistakes, let me also investigate and find out. And I only to find out, man, according to the Bible and according to God, the moment your father gives his blessing, even God says you are married.
I didn't even tell people that because I was like, yo, I was on charge. I say I'm fornicating.
It's a lie.
Yo, vetunana.
It's a lie. He says the problem is that sometimes the church would want to abuse or have more power than it actually has.
But the truth is, it does weigh on you, especially as a woman, because there is that rule. Whereby you can't move in, you can't be intimate unless you have had that blessing ceremony with your pastor or with your pastors. Otherwise, when you are illegally eating.
Yeah. No, it's a rule, but it's a man-made rules and men enforce rule. It's not biblical.
Hey.
It's not biblical at all.
Yeah, no, I had a very difficult time with that.
It's not biblical. That's why for me, I was good. I was like, oh, okay. I have a wife. Why must my wife stay in another house and I must stay here? Worst case scenario, she stays in the opposite flat. Like, why? We're married, Mos. We've done everything. What more?
Try everything. What is it possible in a situation where the pastor marries you, even though your family or your father or whoever has said no?
No.
So the marriage is it valid?
No, it's not valid.
At all?
No. There's no. What authority does he have over you? He has no authority over you.
So the thing of officiating weddings, man. You know, there's this American thing where people can go to a website and be ordained, and then they can perform a wedding. Based on off of what you said, that as long as lobola is paid, as long as the family has agreed, does that mean that we can choose anybody to be our officiant at the wedding ceremony if we have a wedding ceremony? Because essentially the lobola ceremony is basically the wedding.
That's basically.
Because like I'm thinking, let's say I have a good friend or a good mentor of mine, and I want him to be the one officiating my wedding, not the pastor.
Not the pastor?
Yeah. Imagine telling your pastor that, no, Maruti, you can come to the wedding, but Mr. Mangmang will be officiating. He'll be the one making us do the vows and all of that, because I respect him and I want him and I want to give him this honor because of 1, 2, 3. What if now you say that your pastor is offended? Like,
well, that's for offense. Offense is part of life.
But, I'm just trying to understand the officiating part.
Okay.
Because that I don't think that section of weddings is really our culture. You know, because like I said, the lobola is the ish in our culture. The lobola is the wedding. The lobola is the start of the marriage, right? So the whole walking down the aisle, vows. Also in our culture, do we say vows? And does that mean that we are not committed? We're not, if we didn't say the vows. You know,
we do say vows, just not in a Western manner. We say vows in terms of the whole process of lobola, I believe, because when you look at the whole process of lobola, they don't just rock up to your door and knock and come and sit down and start talking. It's a whole process. It's a whole beautiful thing that happens. The clan namings and asking to come inside and the sitting down, the offering and all. I think those are vows, and they're not just vows. They're vows between two families that are saying that, hey, one, we have come here for this, and we really want to be we really want to do this thing together. So I think those can stand as vows. It's our way of doing vows, I guess.
So if you didn't say vows the altar, does that invalidate your marriage?
It doesn't.
Yup, Sana and yours.
It doesn't.
And maybe I've been.
The vow thing, remember, it was a cultural thing that the church came up with, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that because one, it stands with God. It doesn't contradict God's commandments or word or what the Bible stands for.
Okay.
You understand? It was also probably because in the olden days they probably used to have vows and they used to make vows to foreign gods and pagan gods, and the church probably just thought, you know what, how about we have our own vows also as Christians, vows that actually honor God.
I guess that can be a thing. Okay, So basically, you are saying lobola validates
No, it's a
the
very,
marriage.
very, very.
If you have been loboled, whether or not you're Christian, whether or not you are in the Christian religion. Oh my gosh, I don't like.
In the Christian faith.
Yeah, whether or not you're in the faith, you believe in Jesus as the Son of God, you have accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior. That does not mean that marriage is exclusively for born again believers. Interesting. Very interesting.
And I'm not trying to say that the pastor officiating the wedding is it's not. Look, it's a beautiful thing for the pastor to officiate the wedding. In that also, because he's a pastor, he's probably way more knowledgeable than you in terms of the word. You stand at a good chance for him to really pray great blessings over your lives and give you great advice according to the Bible. But with that in mind, I'm also saying that understand the role of the pastor. Don't add anything on top of what the Bible did not add. The pastor cannot be the one that has a higher authority than your father or the person that plays the father role in your family. He does not have that role. So that's why it's very important, if you have paid lobola, you have gotten the blessings from the other side of the family, you guys are married. You are married in God's eyes. You are married in the family's eyes. You are married in the community's eyes. By all means, go there, have your own place, shag up as much as you want, and have beautiful babies. No one can come and tell you that you're committing. If a person comes and tells you that, then you understand that you're dealing with someone that's just very ignorant and does not understand what they're talking about.
So I'm gonna ask you guys again: are you going to Home Affairs before?
Hey, your father must not say this. Your father must not say this. Otherwise, he will tell me I owe him a cow.
What are you guys going to do? Otherwise, it was Fumana Ugui in community.
No, but let's be honest, babe. Let's be honest, ne? What else could you have done? You are being told by the lawyer that, listen, if you pay the lobola before you do the contract, you are in community. You are trying to avoid in community because in community it's not practical in nowadays. It's more of a disadvantage for couples. So what do you do? And you can't go there and tell the father, Emma, here's the situation. We want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. The father is going to be like, no. Do you understand? That's why I'm like, if you are smart, go see the lawyers first. Do what you need to do. The lobola thing you see it after. But once you have signed, there's no going back. So you have to go pay lobola. It's a must. You have to go.
Anyway, guys, if you want to get married, if you are wondering when exactly am I married, when you've been lobola, you're good to go.
No,
essentially. If you and your man decide that no, we're both gonna wait for the wedding ceremony before we move in, before we do the whole nesting and building the whole, let's wait for that ceremony, I guess that's okay. But I think if there's contention between you, of the other one is like, let's move in, and the other one's like, no, then talk about it, I guess. And also the whole blessing ceremony in the church, is it necessary? Is it not? Can everything be done in that lobola day? 1, 2, 3, cook, bam, we're done. But the problem, let me tell you, the thing about lobola days, Gobi. You cannot get married that day. You cannot have a ceremony that day because in your pictures it will be like this. In your wedding pictures.
No, but what some people actually do,
because tensions are high. Thank you guys anyway for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now. Bye.